Hello YouTube, today I have another ASIC. I was going to weigh the Antminer, which is inside this Bitmain box, on these scales, but it says overload. Let's see what the limit is on this scale. 5 kilos, so there's no way I'm going to measure that. On the box it does say 12 kilos, and I'll assume that is correct. The dimensions of the box is about 48 centimeters by 44.5 centimeters. And that's 25 centimeters tall. I'm going to show you my energy consumption. It says I'm using 9.8 kilowatt hours, but I'm about 12.5, 13 kilowatts. And it's that low because I'm generating 2.5 kilowatts of solar energy on the main roof, and then another 500 watts on the secondary roof. So today I'm going to open the box using this screwdriver. Okay, so at the top we've got the standard welcome letter, user guide and warranty. I'm not going to go through all of this, but it's just the same as normal. The most important one is when you're powering a single hash board, don't use more than one power supply. Some warranty information at the back for repairs. I think they've changed the wording slightly. Oh, in fact, it's on a folded A3 page. So when you open it out, you've got some probably Chinese writing there. At the bottom of the box, product name is the server, product model is E3, rated 12 volts at 124 amps max. That's 1.5 kilowatts. I'm sure this was rated at 800 watts. I do have some older scales. I've had this scale for 15 years. Hopefully it'll work. And I'll measure it with the internal packaging. For the internal packaging, that's 10.5 kilos. So this is in bubble wrap instead of the anti-static bag. So that says Antminer T9 Plus control board version 1.2. This one is the same as the control board in the B3. It has positions for 6 hash cables, and these are longer than normal. The normal ones are probably half the size, and also it has more cores on it. So if you did break any of these cables, you're not going to be able to get a hash cable from another Antminer. So they've got 3 large ones and 3 small ones. So the bottom 3 are larger connections than the top ones. There's 2 terminals populated for fan controls, and then the 2 at the bottom are not populated, as well as 2 capacitors there. So capacitors are probably required for the fan connections. On the front we have the IP report button is a bit off center there. There's no fingerprints, there's no dust. There's 2 fans on the front. Inside there's 3 hash boards, and it looks like the heatsink is on one side only. In fact, I've seen pictures of this. The chip is about that big, which is probably the same as the B3 chips. And also I think there's 6 ASICs on each hash board, and each ASIC has about 4 gig of RAM, which is DDR3. There's no dust in there either. That's about 50 centimeters by 33 centimeters by 13 centimeters. Because the heat sinks are on facing that way, I'm going to make this the top. To power this Antminer, I'm not using the Bitmain power supply. I'm using this one here, the one with the 3 fans that was quite loud, just for temporary, before I see if I can put 2 ASICs onto this power supply, which I've shown in a previous video. So each hash board has 2 6-pin connectors. You can kind of see what I'm doing on the video. Make sure everything clicks in. Okay, so that's all 6 in, and then I need a 7th one for the power, for having the heatsink facing upwards because warm air rises. If I had this the other way around, then the heat will be going into the ASIC, which probably wouldn't matter that much because of the airflow, but then this will be less work for the fans to keep the ASICs cooler. As the hot air rises, the airflow will push it to the back. So that's everything connected. That noise that you can hear is this power supply, why I want to replace it afterwards. But I need a dedicated power supply so I can measure the power. On boot up we've got 43 watts. I've got this E3 for $800. I'm going to check what the actual price is now. Well, the E3 has dropped down to $1,876. It was around $2,100 before. And it's probably dropped a little bit because the batch 1 have now been released. And also they've got the big Z9 or Z9 for the Americans. The first thing I need to do is look for its IP address. I'm using advanced IP scanner. That is now running at 366 watts. Just a quick update on the solar. Because the sun's gone in, I've gone from 9.6 kilowatts up to nearly 12 kilowatt hours. I just need to sort the noise out. That's a bit better. That's running at full speed for a long time now. It has dropped to 250 watts. Gone up to 850 watts. That might be at full power now. I do have an extra device on here somewhere. I just need to find it. 191. The default username is root, and the default password is also root. So if I go to miner configuration, that's going to ant pool, and it's got a dummy address of all zeros. I've got 2 pools set up. I'm going to try nice hash. Looking at the miner status, it's not hashing at any speed. The frequency frequency is 1600N, so 1.6 gigahertz. So that's quite high. Fans are at full speed, like fan 5 and 6. So if you have a look at what to mine, top of the list, we can see that the Z9 or Z9 Mini overclocked is earning $34 a day on Zencash, and that's what I'm currently mining. If you leave it on stock, which is about 11 kilohash per second, then it's a lot less. If we scroll further down, we can see that Ethereum Classic is the one at the top at $6.25, as well as Ethereum, so they're both the same. So the watts is at 366. Okay, so that says it's dead on NiceHash, but alive on Ethermine. So after a while, it does slow down a bit. It says 193 hashes per second, but that'll be 193 mega hash per second. So if we look at what I'm already mining on Ethereum, it says I'm doing $154 a day, and that's based on one 1080 Ti graphics card on most of the time. It's not on 24/7. The reason why it doesn't work on NiceHash is because it's trying to mine to an address. So it's bought hash and then the address, which is not right. So that says there's two workers on there. So this is showing two different names as a default, which was the GPU, and then the one which is 5488888. Is that the MAC address? Let me have a quick look. 5488. Yeah, so in the name it shows the MAC address. Void hash rate is 0. So looking in the setup field, it doesn't look like we can control anything else, such as the frequency or the fan speed. It's like they've deleted it. So it doesn't look like I can easily overclock this. So why is that not slowing down? Pull up to 855 watts, so the fan speed should start dropping. So the hash rate has just started, 54 hashes per second or mega hash per second. It hasn't got any of the chip temperatures yet. It says there's 9 chains. I'm not sure why it says it's 9 chains and each chain has 2 hash boards. So that's 9 chains times 2 chips divided by 3. So 6 ASICs per hash board, which is correct. So there's 3 chains per hash board. Just refreshing the page. So that's 197 mega hash per second. PCB temperatures around 45 Celsius. Chip temperatures just under 60 Celsius. But then this is a small room. Hopefully this should show up on the pool now. So it's had 39 shares. So the hash rate is quite low. That's only probably because it started. Okay, so the hash rate looks like it's increasing now. It says 105 there. So that must be the combination of the current hash rate. So it looks like this is equivalent to 18 RX 550 with DDR3 memory and 102 gigabits per second bandwidth. Let's just have a refresh on the pool status, see if it's climbing or if it's still as it was last time I checked. So yes, it is climbing. Okay, so now it says 164 mega hash per second. Just let me scroll down. The current hash rate is slowly increasing. It's now saying that I'm hashing at 117 mega hash per second. So it looks like it updates every 10 to 15 minutes. The plan is, once the hash rate increases on this, is to have the 830 watts plus the 465 watts of the Z9 Mini all on one power supply. So I have 4 connections, so 3 for the hash boards and 1 for the control board. It's a bit of an overkill because this power supply is too noisy. So that'll be 1300 watts. But if you look at the price of a 1080 Ti graphics card, my budget price was around £600, which is $778. So this is almost the same price, but then I had to pay an extra 20% VAT when it arrives, plus $146 shipping, plus $146 plus $946 or $1,135, £875 for this ASIC, and it's supposed to do 190 mega hash per second. If I divide that by 52, so I need about 3.6 1080 Ti graphics cards, and it's not possible to get that many graphics cards for less than $1,000, and then you have to include the motherboard, CPU and all that, frame if you wanted to have a frame. So it does actually work out cheaper than buying graphics cards. Okay, so that hash rate is increased to 156. So I think it's just slowly increasing because it's using some kind of averaging. So I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to try and make everything fit on the table. So this is the noise of the power supply that I want to get rid of. Grab the Z9 Mini or Z9 Mini if you're American. Put it this way so I can extract the heat. So the disadvantage to this setup is if the power supply goes, I take down 2 miners, but hopefully that won't happen. Whilst that's booting up, we'll do a quick solar panel update. I'm using 10 kilowatt hours. And how much am I using, or how much am I generating in solar? 2.3 kilowatt hours. So that will be about 12.5 kilowatt hours that I'm consuming, maybe 13 because I've also got a secondary solar panel system. So I said I was looking for about 1300 watts on here, so that's when they're both fully mining. Okay, so that's 1200 watts. 1200 watts you see there is the combined E3 and the Z9 Mini. So there's about 75 watts difference from my calculation. So they're looking at the pool status, saying it's doing 167 megahash per second. That's because it's based on an averaging system. It just takes a while for it to update. That never dropped down to zero whilst I had it disconnected and whilst it was booting up. So I'm getting about 214, 215 megahash per second total. It can go a bit higher. I'll just refresh what's in mine again. So Ethereum's at the top of the list now by 4 cents. Shame it doesn't work on NiceHash, but Ethereum is the number 2 coin on CoinMarketCap, so I suppose that's a good thing. Okay, so my hash rate has dropped a bit to a total of 183. That's including the 1080 Ti graphics card. That's because there's a bit of a lag for the pool status to update, so hopefully that will go up again in the next 10 minutes. So that's close enough to 1300 watts now, so that's similar to what I calculated.
The Crypto Miner UK Facebook fan page has just reached over 1,000 likes. To celebrate, I'm giving away $25 in Bitcoin. For your chance to win, all you have to do is like and share this video and then enter the competition link in the description below. If you've liked this video and found anything useful, leave a thumbs up. If you haven't done already, please subscribe and click on the bell for more notifications. And could you also like my Facebook page? And I'll see you next time.